You've felt it before, that quiet weight pressed against you as your dog curls up close, their body warm against yours. It feels comforting, natural. But what if that simple act isn't just love? What if it's something deeper, a message your dog has been trying to send you all along? Some experts say it's instinct. Others believe it's emotional protection. But the truth, the real reason dogs sleep pressed against their owners, might change how you see your bond forever. So, what is your dog really saying when they sleep so close to you? It's late. The house is quiet, lights dim. The day finally slowing down. Emma slips under the blanket, phone on the nightstand, sighing after another long day. Across the room, her golden retriever Milo lifts his head. Within seconds, he jumps up beside her, circles twice, and settles right against her side, chest to shoulder, like a heartbeat pressed close. It happens every night. Emma smiles, strokes his fur, and whispers, "Good night, buddy." Most of us have a moment like this. That comforting warmth of a dog who won't sleep anywhere else but right next to you. It feels sweet, protective, almost ordinary. But as dog lovers, we've all wondered, why? Is it just habit? Is it love? Or could it be something deeper? Something our dogs feel long before we even understand it ourselves? Before we explore what this behavior really means, let's talk about something every dog owner faces. Many dog owners also notice changes in their dog's behavior. Maybe your dog suddenly follows you from room to room, or seems restless when you're gone for just a few minutes. If that sounds familiar, I explained the solution step by step in my playlist Dog Behavior Secrets. You can find the link right at the top corner, and I'll also leave it for you on the end screen. Because once you understand the emotions behind your dog's habits, everything starts to make sense. Back to Emma and Milo. For years, their routine was the same. Milo waited until she got into bed, then quietly climbed up and pressed his body close. Even in summer heat, when it was too warm for comfort, he stayed there. When Emma shifted, he adjusted, never breaking contact. Sometimes she'd laugh and say, "You're like a furry shadow, aren't you?" But deep down, she loved it. That closeness felt like peace. Still, there were nights when Milo's behavior changed. When storms rolled in, he'd curl tighter against her. When Emma cried after a hard day, he'd nudge his nose under her arm and stay still as if guarding her. And on days when she traveled, her family said Milo slept by the front door, refusing to move until she came home. Little by little, Emma began to wonder, was this just comfort or something more emotional? Was he protecting her or seeking protection himself? That's the beauty of dogs, they blur the line between giving love and asking for it. Every night, millions of dog owners around the world feel that silent connection. A soft body pressed against theirs in the dark. A warmth that says, "I'm here, you're safe." But beneath that comfort lies a story, one written by instinct, emotion, and years of shared trust. In a moment, we'll uncover what sleeping so close truly means, and why it might be one of the purest signs of love your dog can give you. Because sometimes, the quietest gestures speak the loudest. Let's start with what most of us assume: comfort. Your dog presses against you because it feels good. The warmth of your body, the steady rhythm of your breathing to them, that's home. When puppies are born, their first memory isn't of a toy or food bowl, it's warmth. They survive those early days by huddling together, finding comfort in touch. So when your grown dog curls up against you, it's not just affection, it's a return to that first, most primal feeling of safety through closeness. Think of it like this: you're not just their favorite person, you're their pack. 1. The comfort connection. Luna, a small husky mix rescued from a cold winter shelter, had trouble sleeping in her new home. Her owner, Jake, tried everything: new beds, toys, calming music. Nothing worked. Until one night, Luna quietly climbed onto the bed and rested her body against his legs. Within minutes, she fell asleep, her breathing soft and steady. From that night on, she slept peacefully, but only when touching him. What looked like a quirky bedtime habit was actually her nervous system relaxing. Dogs feel comfort through contact. It helps lower cortisol and releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers and infants. That's not coincidence, that's biology speaking in the language of love. 2. The bonding ritual. But for many dogs, It's not just about warmth, it's about togetherness. Every night, pressing close is their way of saying, "We're a team." In dog packs, resting side by side strengthens social bonds. The closer they sleep, the stronger the pack unity. So when your dog insists on sleeping with part of their body touching yours, even if it's just their paw on your foot, they're reaffirming that bond. One owner, Melissa, says her golden doodle, Cooper, has a ritual. Before lying down, he presses his head against her chest, sighs, and only then curls up. It's not random, it's reassurance. It's his nightly reminder, "You're still mine, and I'm still yours." And maybe that's why it feels so calming for us too. Because on some level, we know what they're saying even without words. 3. The safety instinct. There's another layer. One deeply rooted in instinct protection. In the wild, dogs sleep back to back with pack members to stay safe from predators. It's an ancient strategy. Stay close, stay alive. That instinct hasn't faded. Your home might be peaceful, but your dog's DNA still whispers, "Keep the pack together." That's why some dogs sleep facing the door, pressed against you, body between you and whatever's outside. They're not just cuddling, they're guarding. You might think your dog is clingy, but in their mind, they're doing their job. Take Rocky, a German Shepherd who sleeps beside his owner's bed, always facing the door. If his owner moves in the night, Rocky subtly adjusts his position, alert yet calm. He's not anxious, he's on duty. And if you've ever noticed your dog sigh after you settle in, that's them finally relaxing once they know you're safe for the night. It's protection not from danger, but from uncertainty. 4. The habit of routine. Of course, sometimes it's simpler. Dogs are creatures of routine, they thrive on consistency. Maybe your dog slept with you once during a thunderstorm, found comfort, and decided, "This is my spot now." That one moment of relief becomes a nightly tradition, a ritual of peace. Routine doesn't make it meaningless, it makes it sacred. It's the unspoken rhythm of your relationship, a pattern built from repetition and trust. Take Buddy, a beagle mix who has slept on his owner's pillow every single night for 8 years. If she's not home, he sleeps on her side of the bed, never anywhere else. He's not just stubborn, he's loyal to a pattern that reminds him she always comes back. For many dogs, routine is their emotional anchor, and bedtime closeness, it's the heart of that anchor. 5. The hidden emotion, the most powerful meaning yet coming next. So far, we've talked about comfort, bonding, protection, and habit, all beautiful, loving reasons. But there's one more meaning, one that reveals something heartbreakingly human about dogs, and maybe about us too. Before we uncover it, think about this. Have you ever noticed your dog press even closer when you're upset? Maybe during a hard day, or after an argument, or when you come home feeling drained. They sense it. They always sense it. And that's where the real story begins. 6. The emotional mirror leading into climax. Dogs are emotional mirrors. They absorb our energy, reflect it, and respond in ways we don't always understand. When your dog sleeps pressed against you, sometimes it's not just their comfort, they're seeking it's yours. Rescue trainer and behaviorist Carla Hughes tells a story about a dog named Finley, a small terrier who clung to his new owner every night. At first, it seemed like separation anxiety, but after weeks of observation, Carla realized something deeper. Finley only did it when his owner came home exhausted or quiet. When the man was cheerful, Finley slept at the foot of the bed. When he was down, Finley slept on his chest, pressed close, unmoving. Dogs don't ask if you're okay, they just feel it. They notice your size, your stillness, your tone. And in their own wordless way, they respond with presence. That's the emotional heartbeat behind this habit. Sometimes, sleeping close isn't about the dog needing safety, it's about you needing it, and them silently knowing. Real-life moments that prove it. Towners share countless stories that echo this truth. A woman battling depression said her dog began sleeping on her chest every night after her diagnosis, something he'd never done before. A soldier's service dog slept pressed against him after nightmares, grounding him back in reality. And parents tell stories of family dogs who instinctively pressed close to children after tough days, before anyone even spoke a word. These aren't coincidences. They're empathy in motion, dogs doing the one thing they know best: staying close. 7. The quiet conversation between hearts in those silent nighttime moments. A conversation happens, one without words. Your dog's warmth says, "You're not alone." Your hand on their fur says, "I know." That's the beauty of this bond. Two species, thousands of years apart, finding comfort in the same simple truth: closeness heals. What started as a survival instinct evolved into emotional language. And now, every time your dog presses against you, they're speaking that ancient language, not with barks or whines, but with trust. 8. The suspense builds bridge to climax. But there's one final reason, one that behaviorists often whisper about, but rarely explain fully. It's the reason that ties all of this together: comfort, protection, bonding, empathy, and reveals what your dog truly feels when they press against you. It's the quietest, most powerful truth about the human-dog bond. And it's not just about safety or love. It's about grief. The kind that doesn't always come from loss, but from fear of it. Your dog may sleep pressed against you not only because they love you, but because, in their heart, they're afraid to lose you. Afraid you'll leave again tomorrow. Afraid of the silence that comes when you're gone. It's their way of saying, "I don't want this moment to end." And that's where we'll go next. Because understanding that hidden truth might just change how you see every night you share with your dog. There's a moment every dog owner knows, that quiet stillness after the lights go out. You shift beneath the blanket, and beside you, you feel it, that small, steady weight. A warm body pressed close, fur brushing your arm, breath syncing with yours. It feels peaceful, ordinary. But what if I told you that's the moment your dog is doing something extraordinary? Because when your dog presses against you at night, it's not just for warmth. It's not even just affection. It's instinct, ancient, protective, and unspoken. Let's go back in time for a second. Long before soft beds and glowing screens, before we called them pets, dogs slept beside humans in the dark, not because they had to, but because they chose to. They guarded the campfires, sensed danger before we did, and learned our rhythms, our smells, our heartbeats. In those quiet hours, their bodies formed a barrier between us and the world. That instinct, to protect the one they love most, never left. So when your dog curls against you, they're not just saying, "I love you." They're saying, "You're my world. And while you rest, I'll keep watch." The hidden guardian instinct. Behaviorists have studied this for years. Even in deep sleep, dogs remain partially alert. Their brains tuned to subtle sounds, changes in breathing, or even the way we move. Some call it protective rest. That's why a dog will sometimes lift their head in the middle of the night, listen for a few seconds, then settle back down when they realize it's still safe. It's not paranoia, it's love wearing the armor of instinct. Think about that for a moment. Your dog doesn't just love you during the day, when you're feeding them or throwing a ball. They love you in the quiet, unseen hours too, when you're most vulnerable. Even in sleep, they stay between you and the unknown. That's what's happening when you feel their body pressed against you. That's their silent promise. As long as I'm here, nothing will hurt you. The fear beneath the loyalty. But there's another layer to this one that's both beautiful and heartbreaking. Dogs don't understand time the way we do. When you leave the house, they don't know if it's for an hour or forever. That's why they celebrate your return. It's a miracle every single day. So when night comes, and they feel your body beside them, your scent, your breathing, they're reassured. You came back. You're here. They can finally rest. It's not just comfort, it's relief. The kind that says, "I survived another day without losing my person." Every press, every nudge in the dark, carries that hidden fear: please don't disappear again. It's the kind of loyalty that breaks your heart a little. Because to your dog, every night might be their last chance to hold you close. Stories that prove it. There's a story about a rescue named Harper, a senior Labrador who'd been abandoned twice before being adopted. For the first few months in her new home, she refused to sleep anywhere but right against her owner's chest. Even when the lights were off, even when she was half asleep, she'd press harder every time her owner moved away. It wasn't neediness. It was fear of losing love again. But as the months passed and Harper learned she was safe, her sleeping changed. She still pressed close, but now gently, peacefully, without tension. Her body language said, "I still remember the nights I was alone. But now, I know you won't leave." That's what it means when a dog sleeps pressed against you. It's not just comfort, it's trust that's been earned, sometimes through pain. And it's why rescued dogs often do it the most, because it is something they fought to find. The science of silent protection studying canine attachment found something astonishing. When dogs are near their owners, especially during rest, their brain releases oxytocin in waves. It's the same hormone that bonds parents to children. But here's the twist. That chemical release happens even when they're half asleep, meaning your dog's brain literally relaxes more deeply when they feel you beside them. And the reverse is true too. Human heart rates stabilize when sleeping beside dogs. Our stress levels drop, our breathing sinks. So what you feel as comfort is actually mutual regulation. Your dog is calming you, and you're calming them. Two heartbeats, whispering the same language of safety. The unseen moments of loyalty every night. Across millions of homes, dogs quietly perform acts of loyalty no one ever sees. They shift to match your breathing. They wake if you toss or groan in your sleep. Some even nudge your hand, just to make sure you're still there. And if you've ever noticed your dog sleeping with their back against you, facing the room, that's not random. That's a defensive posture. They're positioning themselves so they can react first if something feels off. They sleep deeply, but never completely, because part of them is always guarding, always loving, always listening. They don't need to see danger to protect you, they just need to feel that you exist. Love written in silence. When you really think about it, dogs have only one mission in life: to love their person completely. No expectations, no conditions, no words. And that nightly press, that gentle weight against you, is the purest expression of that mission. It's their way of saying, "You are my pack. I belong to you. And even when you sleep, I'll keep you safe." There's no performance, no training, just instinct and devotion woven into every heartbeat. If you listen closely, you'll realize that your dog has been telling you this story every night, through silence, through closeness, through the warmth that never leaves your side. The hidden truth. So here's the truth most owners never realize. When your dog presses against you at night, they're not just showing affection, they're fulfilling their oldest promise. The promise made thousands of years ago when the first wolves approached human fires: "If you let me stay, I'll keep you safe." And ever since, generation after generation, dogs have kept that promise. Not through barking or guarding or fighting, but through quiet closeness. Through the steady heartbeat pressed against ours. Every time your dog lies beside you, they're reliving that ancient vow. Every breath they take beside you says, "I'm still here. I'm still watching over you." And maybe that's why it feels so deeply right. Because even in our modern lives, surrounded by walls, alarms, and locks, there's something primal in knowing that love still stands guard while we sleep. The cliffhanger, the final question. But here's the question no one asks. If your dog presses against you out of love and loyalty, what happens when they're the ones who feel afraid? Do they want the same comfort back? Do they hope you'll notice, reach out, and return the gesture they've been giving you all along? Because that's where the story turns from instinct to empathy, from their love for you to your love for them. And when you understand that part, what your dog truly feels in those quiet, wordless nights, you'll never look at bedtime the same way again. Because sometimes, it's not them who needs protecting, it's you. Thank you so much for watching and for spending this time understanding your dog a little more deeply. If you learned something new about what your dog's closeness really means, give this video a like. It helps other dog lovers discover these hidden insights too. I'd love to hear your stories. Does your dog sleep pressed against you? Have you noticed little things they do that feel like their way of saying "I love you"? Share your story in the comments. You'd be amazed how many people reading feel the exact same connection. And if this video made you think of a friend who's just as obsessed with their dog, send it to them. You might help them understand their pup's heart a little better tonight. One challenge many dog owners notice is when their dogs suddenly become extra clingy or anxious at night. If you've seen this with your dog, I explained the full solution in my playlist Dog Behavior Secrets. Don't miss it, the link's right up here, and I'll also leave it at the end screen. Subscribe if you want to keep discovering what your dog's really telling you, one hidden message at a time. Give your dog an extra cuddle tonight. They've earned it.